Hey, y'all caught me at work. There's a lot of talk right now. I'm gonna set you down. You guys can watch me work. There's a lot of talk right now about the Cummins Titan um being discontinued. And I've had a few people contact me and ask me what I thought about it already, or at least copy me in Facebook posts. And the one thing I can say is I'm not surprised. From a reliability and functionality standpoint, Nissan could never compete with Dodge and Ford. I will say they can compete with Chevy because Chevy's a flaming hunk of shit. Um, so sorry, all you Chevy guys, but that's the truth. Duramax is Dura trash, and it's a Zuzu. So, anyways, um, so the Cummins Titan, Nissan released the Cummins Titan 3.5 years ago, something like that. And they released it under the guise of why go out and buy a 3/4 ton? Why? Oh, yeah, and by the way, you guys caught me at work, and I'm not going to stop working to make this video. So, um, sorry, ADD. Um, we're going to make a truck that blows away the competition because we're going to make a truck that appeals to the middle of the road guy, the contractor such as myself, and the half-ton market. We're going to make a truck that makes it to where you don't have to go out and buy a 3/4 ton or bigger truck. You'll be able to haul your camper on the weekend, your camper or your boat, and then you'll be able to drive to the office on Monday. That was their purpose for the Titan. Unfortunately, people already have their mind made up about what a big truck is in this country. Unfortunately, Nissan. Oh, dropped you guys. Unfortunately, Nissan didn't. I think they kind of underestimated the truck market and the brand loyalty. No doubt, they have their own cult following. I've owned a gas Titan, the first gen gas Titan, and I loved my truck. It was an outstanding truck. However, um, it was not like the big three. They did not offer things that the big three could offer. Just some mechanical standpoint stuff, some off-road standpoint stuff, some creature comfort stuff that, and they finally did towards the end, but they just seemed to never catch up with Chevy, Dodge, and Ford. Me personally, I've been a Ford guy most of my life. I've owned Chevy and I've owned Dodge, and for the most part, they've been good trucks. I'm not, the Chevy couldn't tow worth a shit. Any trailer I put on the back of it, and you guys might think this is Chevy hate, but when you compare it to the other ones, any trailer I put on the back of it, it just felt like it was being manhandled by the trailer. But as far as a point A to point B vehicle, throw your tools in the bed of the truck, it really wasn't a bad truck. Never owned a Chevy diesel, but I've seen plenty of them broke down on the side of the road. Sorry, Chevy guys. If you're a Chevy Duramax guy, you might want to turn this off. So Nissan, they betted on that market, that middle of the road market being so big that they wouldn't have to market their truck. They wouldn't have to advertise it. And they did a teaser for 4 years of this truck. And finally, when it comes out, they decide that they're not going to continue to advertise it. The truck will advertise itself. People will see it driving around and they'll go, huh, that truck can pull this and do that and do this and do that, and it's a diesel, so I'll be like the big boys. I'm going Nissan. Well, that didn't happen. And, whoever their marketing director is, I believe the guy who markets Nissan's trucks, I believe, was stolen from Dodge, if I'm not mistaken. That guy has his head up his ass. Somebody should have been raising a red flag going, whoa, wait a minute. There's a reason why the best-selling truck manufacturer in the country, Ford, still continues to put buttloads of money into their marketing because they want to continue to be the biggest truck dealer, biggest truck sales in the U.S. In the world, too, I believe. I believe they sell more pickup trucks than anybody in the world. I could be mistaken on that. So So they didn't follow suit. They didn't do what the other big three do. All of them do it. You know, you got Chevy like a rock, built Ford tough. You know, whatever Dodge's bullshit is, I don't know what it is. So you had all these makes and manufacturers. They all have their spiel, and Nissan's spiel was, it's a diesel. Come and buy it. It has a Cummins in it. Come and get it. Nissan historically, and Toyota, the Japanese big truck market, or light duty truck market, has historically dropped the ball in their advertising. They've more or less kind of done what the Japanese do. They let their product speak for itself and don't really talk a whole lot on it. I mean, even the Nissan Skyline didn't really get a lot of advertising. So they dropped the ball there. That's one. The most important part for them, at least, to sell trucks, that was it. As far as the owner, i.e. me, the other guys like me who have bought these trucks, driven these trucks past the break-in point, and used them every day to make a living, they didn't make a great truck. From the factory, the truck is strangled. It's anemic. It doesn't have the power that some EcoBoost trucks have, as far as the get up and go, the haul in the trailer, the whole 9 yards. It just doesn't have what the competition has, even in the gas department. So gas versus diesel, that should be a no-brainer. The diesel should win hands down. If anybody knows about diesel engines, they would know this. And they just didn't compete. The truck weighs as much as a 2500 Ram, a 3/4 ton Ram, but it competes with the F-150. It's a no-brainer. Me as the customer, I go out and delete the truck because I know the potential that engine has. I know that you can unleash the beast, so to speak, and make it a reliable, strong, powerful truck. Nissan should have done these things out the gate. They should have released this truck with better fuel economy, better towing, more power, the whole spiel. They didn't make that 5/8 ton. They made just above what Ford does in their gas in their half-ton department. So they failed. They failed at that. And it's not just Nissan. It's also Cummins. Cummins should have said, "Hey, we're going to do this, but we're not going to, tarnish our good name by letting you put a substandard engine on the market." And some people go, "Oh, well, the EPA this and the EPA that." They put all these, EPA components on the truck in it, and there's nothing to do with it. That's funny because every generation of Ford, Dodge, and Chevy, they have produced more and more power. They've done it. They've done a change in power every single year. Every time they release the truck, they give it a little bit more power, a little bit more power, a little bit more power. Nissan really hasn't done that. They've sold the same basic bitch truck to everybody. And unless you go out and buy these aftermarket parts and void your warranty, you're stuck with a truck that does not produce a substantial amount of power. And that's what guys like us need. One day I will be commuting to and from work with a couple dudes in the truck with me out on these job sites. And then the next day I'll be hauling 15,000 pounds. I need that capability. And a lot of people go, "Well, why don't you just go buy a 3/4 ton?" Because I was a Nissan owner in the past, and I want to continue to be a Nissan owner. I also believe in the Cummins power plant. I believe that there is a lot there, but there's also a lot to be desired that they just didn't produce. The reliability standpoint, the trucks out the gate were notoriously unreliable. Crank failures, turbo failures, EGR failures, computer issues. Same with every other manufacturer, but they had major EPA component failures. And some people go, "Oh, well, that's not their fault." Yes, it is. Because they didn't do the proper R&D. They didn't do the proper upfront work to make sure that these trucks were going to be reliable out the gate. And they just released them. After teasing us for 4 years, they released a truck that was substandard. My truck's reliable. Is it as reliable as, say, my 6-liter Power Stroke was, or my 7.3 Power Stroke, or my Ram 5.9, or my Dodge 5.9, or my Ram 6.7? Absolutely not. Not by a long shot. When I'm towing heavy and I'm going up a hill and I'm 400 miles away from the house, I get nervous every time I put my foot on the pedal. Um, Luckily, I have the capability to get it fixed and to, work these issues out. But there's people out there hauling their tools to work. There's grandpa hauling it, hauling old Betty, his wife, sitting next to him in the truck in their camper, their 10,000-pound camper, out in the middle of the boonies. They're breaking down. Their cranks are failing. This is not something that Nissan could have afforded as far as the customers, how people view Nissan. When you release a vehicle, it has to be reliable. It has to do what you say it will do. And if it doesn't, people aren't going to buy it, especially if you're not going to market it up front. The cost of the trucks, even the most loaded truck, is probably $10,000 less than what you can get a Ford Power Stroke diesel for. So you're selling a truck that can't compete with the diesels at the big dog diesel price, and you're telling me it's not reliable? Oh, and wait a minute, when I look around everywhere, nobody's driving one. I'm the only jackass driving this truck. Nobody else around me is driving one. Now, let me tell you, I bought my truck for aesthetic purposes. I love the looks of it, love the way it drove, even like the way it pulls. Even though it doesn't have that I can't spin the tires doing 40 miles an hour, I still love the way it pulls. The truck's heavy, so it stops good. Great brakes on it. There are very few trucks on the market that can stop a trailer as fast as my truck can, or as the Titan can. And everybody knows that a big part of towing is stopping. The biggest part of towing is stopping. However, I don't like Granny flying by me, flipping me off when I'm hauling my 10,000-pound trailer up the hill. That doesn't happen to me anymore. I spent the money. I deleted it. I voided my warranty. Anything that happens from this point on is on me. However, I shouldn't have to do that. That shouldn't be my job as the owner of the vehicle. I purchased the vehicle. I spent a lot of money on this vehicle. I expect it to do all this stuff. Everything that you, Nissan, said that it would. And now it's not. So there's just a few things. I'm not surprised that they're doing away with it. I think they should have probably done it last year when sales were at an all-time low. The first couple of years, everybody expected it to be a little iffy just because it's the first couple of years of a truck trying to, come on the scene and do big truck things and get their name out there. But after a couple of years, it wasn't selling. I knew it. It was time to fold. I trade up every couple of years, so it's not going to affect me. I'll probably trade up early instead of waiting for the full 2-year mark. I might wait like a year and a half from now before I trade. But it is what it is, guys. I mean, and if you listen to all those aftermarket Titan XD parts dealers, they're all going to tell you, we're going strong. Titan's still a reliable truck, yada, yada, yada. My Titan hauls ass. It does this that the Ford can't do, and it does that the Ram can't do. It's all horseshit. All of it's horseshit. That truck cannot compete unless you're talking about overall cost of the vehicle and fuel economy. It can't compete otherwise. My truck gets better fuel economy than either Power Stroke or Cummins Ram ever did. But that's not the point. That's not what I bought it for. I didn't buy it for fuel economy. Is it a bonus? Yeah, absolutely. But I would rather take the hit on fuel economy and get some reliability and get some more power than I would to just, we're going to car that, if I wanted that, I'd buy a Prius, But that's it. That's my rant, guys. Wish you good luck with your Titans if you own one. And if you're really that worried about it, go trade the sucker in before Nissan it makes it official, because we all know they're going to. A lot of us have seen it coming. If you're really that worried about losing your ass on the truck, just go get rid of it. All right, peace out.